Hey everybody, and welcome to Umbrella Fight. My name is Nathan, and today we're going to be talking about the only thing that matters in our world, and that is video games. Today I've got Devyn with me and John. They're my two teammates, and they are fantastic. They love video games almost as much as I do. And so today we're going to get started talking about, just what we've been playing, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and a little bit more of an off-the-cuff episode, as this is episode 0. And, I hope you enjoyed the theme song. I can already hear the cease and desist from Suno coming in. So we'll get prepped on that and ready to go. But right now, what I would like to do is I'd like to pivot over to Devyn. Devyn, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little about what you like to play normally and what you're playing right now.
Hey, so like you said, my name's Devyn, but no, I'm playing, I like to play a lot of RPGs. It's most of the time what I'm playing. It kind of ranges from like a Skyrim style RPG all the way into stuff like World of Warcraft, like MMO RPGs where you're doing online. I definitely enjoy the online interaction type games where you're
something
with
a little more persistent.
Exactly. Yeah.
People.
Something that doesn't have an end to it, if you will. I enjoy the grind to it. I was also a big League of Legends guy. Played into that. FPSs also have a place in my heart as well. I had a pretty long phase of Counter-Strike, starting from Counter-Strike Source to CS:GO. Yeah, all that type of stuff. But yeah, no, I've kind of been playing a little bit of World of Warcraft, not too much of it lately because I've started school and stuff like that. But World of Warcraft mobile gaming has been kind of the hold right now because when you're really busy and you're just kind of moving around everywhere, mobile gaming is kind of what gets you by, like scratches your itch of like, I need to play games, but I don't
100%.
really have time to play games at the moment. So like Vampire Survivors is what I just started.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on
I
Vampire Survivors.
I played it for like 3 hours yesterday.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah, because I'm just like moving around all around town, and it's like, what can I do? Vampire Survivors.
Oh yeah.
So I've been kind of locked into that one. I'm trying to make some progress on it. See if I can.
They just recently added cloud saves too, so if you pick it up on Steam or whatever, you can move your
transfer
progress
it right
back
over.
And forth.
There we go, dude.
Makes things so, there's so many unlocks in that game.
Yeah,
too. It's so stupid.
But yeah, I mean, so mobile gaming is pretty cool. I like it. It's dynamic, so you're able to, like I said, play from anywhere, and kind of have that same. You're getting to scratch your itch for playing games without having to set up your battle station, if you will.
Yeah, I know that feeling well. All right, well, fantastic, John. Welcome.
Hey,
I'm glad to have you as part of the Umbrella Fight team.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk a little about what do you like to play normally? What's your bag?
Man, so right now it's pretty simple. I League of Legends, the Rift. Recently I started playing a lot more Overwatch.
Okay. Back to Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch came back.
All right.
I could
You're
go
one
on,
of those.
I could go on a rant about Blizzard.
Who couldn't, dude?
Oh man,
I have some issues, but
I absolutely do not play any Blizzard or Activision products, and they're probably the same reasons for you.
No, Blizzard is just dumpster fire.
Yeah, what a trash fire for sure.
And aside from that, so single player, I've been playing Dead Island 2.
Nice.
Randomly, like I saw it for free on Epic Games. And I
think I picked that one up too.
Yeah, I just played it, and I got hooked on it. It's just literally an arcadey like zombie game, but the gore is like stupid good.
11 out of 10.
Like it's crazy. Like even like the distance. So it's like even if let's say I barely hit a zombie, like I wasn't really close enough to actually do any damage to it, you can see I'll scratch their clothes.
Oh wow!
Right, like it'll do like a surface scratch. Right,
that's wild.
And then but if I get closer to it, then you actually see like the deep, like scratch or wound or whatever that I leave on it. So I've been playing that. I've been sick, like for the past. It feels almost like 2 weeks now.
Maybe lean away from the mic a bit then.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It'll be fine. It'll totally be fine.
Yeah,
but
it's just the plague. We'll live.
Yeah, we'll be okay. So like the will to play games has dwindled a bit. Like I've just been laying down, but then it's funny because like I'll think, man, like I want to play something to just relax while I'm like medicated, and then so I'll just play Dark Souls 3.
Oh yeah,
and
as a nice relaxing game.
Just relaxing. experience in the catacombs.
Is that where you're at?
Yeah, right now.
I hate the catacombs so much. There's a little skip that you can, like, right after the Abyss Watchers, you can turn right and there's a drop down. It cuts out like a third or a half even of the catacombs, and I use it every single time.
The catacombs are horrible.
Like, skeletons like rolling towards you.
Just,
Come on now.
It's gross. Like, it's gross down there.
Yeah, it is.
But
dank.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. But yeah, I have a good mix of, like, I play a lot of multiplayer competitive games. Like, I like being able to tell people that they're not good at the game, and so it does it for me.
Cool.
For me.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Well, just to finish it off, my name's Nathan, and I have such a mixed bag when it comes to video games. I mean, Devyn can tell you we played Rocket League for a long time, but then I'll get sunk into something that's completely single player, nothing like Stardew Valley or No Man's Sky, which actually that's what I just got back into a couple of days ago was No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is awesome though,
bro. They released a new big fat update called Beacon, and it looks dope. And so I started exploring and playing around, and I've run into so many things that weren't in that game, 6 months ago, a year ago even?
It's crazy.
I've never seen a game transform like that.
I was going to say, they were huge at launch, and then I guess everyone was like, it's over. Like, I guess the content ran out or something really quick during the beginning.
Yeah, so I could get into that, but I'm going to put a pin in that because I have some things to say about No Man's Sky, and it's actually all good. But I also like to do a lot of retro gaming, specifically like the NES. Obviously, I grew up. I mean, I was born in '86, so I'm old AF, and I got an NES when I was a kid. I've had a Sega Genesis, everything that you can think of up through the years, and with the exception of a CDI, I've never had that. That's a trash system anyway. That's an old man joke.
I don't even know what that is.
Great, that's great. Phillips is glad that you don't know what a CDI is because it's a stain on gaming. But right now, actually, I'm just playing a lot of No Man's Sky. What did I just wrap up? I wrapped up Pacific Drive.
Oh yeah, you were loving that,
bro. I was really into Pacific Drive. Pacific Drive has a unique style to it. It's roguelike meets driving meets survival. And then it's all post-apocalyptic. And, there was a lot of relaxation to be had in the game. So I was enjoying it. But also it was really stressful because you get in these areas where these hazards are everywhere. So you're swerving, trying to avoid these hazards, and your right bumper's falling off, and your door's like barely hanging on for its survival. And then you make it through the gate. And, man, they have a really great way of making you feel awesome. Or like, that closing scene in an action movie where everything's exploding and they're booking it. They're like, we're not going to make it. We're going to make it. Don't worry. We're not going to make it. And then it explodes and you get in there and then they make it by like the skin of their teeth.
Yes.
Every exit out of a level in that game feels that way. It's super cool. The whole world like collapses. There's a big beam of light you have to drive your car into to get like pulled back into the garage, and it's just a great loop. Go in out to the hazards.
That's what makes a good roguelike.
Heck yeah, man! And then you get back in there, you upgrade all your stuff, unlock a bunch of junk, super your car up, and make it look dope. Put a cool decal on it because who doesn't love dragons and flames on their car? It makes it faster, right?
That's right.
So I just had a great time, and then on top of that, the voice acting. I don't know how big this team was. The credits didn't seem too terribly long, but I got to give them some major props because this game's put together really well. It's got physics in it, so there's definitely some jank here and there. But at the end of the day, the story was fantastic, and all of the voice acting was really good. There were some really emotional moments in it, and it freaking goes places. That game goes places. And I only spent, 30 hours, 40 hours playing it. It's a solid playtime,
It's a good
not
bit,
too short
like
on
time though.
Yeah, I loved it. I think it was.
How much is that game? Is it, or is it a part of like one of the passes or something?
No, well, I don't think it's part of any pass like
Okay.
PS5. Like what do they call it? PlayStation Plus. That's it. It's not part of that, but I mean, for $14.99, I think I got it on sale. Maybe
that's a good deal.
It's $29.99 normally. But then,
half off.
For $14.99, you can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah.
I actually have somebody in my Steam family. I already had it, but it wasn't running super great. It's not optimized. I think that's the biggest ding against this game is that it's not optimized, and you can tell because when there's a lot of stuff going on, it really starts to drag. Even on the PS5. which is a powerhouse of a system.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So they just honestly, there's just a lot of physics that's being calculated that maybe it doesn't need to be. But I don't make games, so maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Right? But yeah, Pacific Drive was fantastic. It's one of the few games I've actually finished because I have a real problem with did not finish.
Wow.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I can't. I don't know.
Shame.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe make a better game. You know, that's all I'm saying.
That's
Perhaps.
fair.
I can't tell you how many times. Not a knock on the game. I can't tell you how many times I started The Witcher 3 and didn't finish it.
You know what I just didn't finish? The Witcher 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's man. That
I feel like I've
really
heard
great.
everyone say that. Like that's like pretty common. Like
I don't know why that game.
It reels
that
you in, and it's an amazing game. Like it plays great. It feels good. The story's solid.
Yep.
Why do you quit it? I have no clue. I haven't
Yeah.
figured it out.
What
But I've
causes that?
restarted that game probably 5-6 times over
Really?
the last like several years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually, I'm bound and determined to finish that game because the last time I played it,
too.
I got through, I don't know, a third? I don't know. There's so much content in that game. It's
I
absurd.
actually have no clue how far I've gotten into that game. Every single time it's different. I feel like I've gotten pretty far into it. My last playthrough, I had that same determination. Like, I will complete this. I don't remember what threw me off the track. Something threw me off the track. Again,
Sure.
didn't finish it.
Dang.
It was like, come on.
Man.
Think y'all will play the new one?
Oh, absolutely. But I'm gonna want to play. I'm gonna want to play the third one. Like I'm gonna want to beat it first.
You want
Yeah.
the context?
Yeah.
Well, the third one is really good. You don't need the first or second for context
Correct.
of the third one.
That's
so
what I've heard.
I would expect that they would do that with the fourth one, or I would hope.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't.
I mean, the third one was
touched
kind of a
any.
hit, so I'm not sure. Like they may kind of try to pivot off of it. I'm not sure. I'm not super into the lore of the
Yeah,
Witcher
same.
3,
I have
so,
like no idea what's going on.
like story wise. Yeah, I know a little bit of it simply because I watched the Netflix series.
I can actually get into a little bit of that because I've been playing it, and the only reason I want to get into it a hair because I am. When it comes to games and stories, there's a lot of tendency, specifically with like family-oriented games, to kind of water the story down. The Witcher does not water anything down. It's an adult game.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
With adult situations. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like, oh, we got to see a boobie.
Yeah.
I mean, like these
Yeah.
Witcher characters, they're in a gray area. They're killers, but they're also killers for hire that everybody uses and they don't like them anyway. They're like a necessary evil. And I think that's a really unique, interesting take on the fantasy genre because there's always here's Gandalf
hero.
and then here's
Yeah.
Saruman and
Hero
they're
and villain.
very clear who's the bad guy.
Yeah.
But the Witcher, they're kind of like
Riding the line.
riding the line a little bit. They're a little
Yep.
shitty. Some of the Witchers are shitty people.
Yeah.
I like that though. I like those characters that it's like kind of ambiguous. Like,
Yeah.
man, this is kind of a terrible person, but they
in most
did, you
yeah,
know?
the
in
anti-hero.
most cases, like they are like not great people. They just end up doing like decent things because of the situations they're in some sort of a way, right?
Yeah. I've always liked that anti-hero. Like,
Yeah.
I've always liked that in games. Like, just because like the good versus evil in games, I feel like it's so like
tapped out.
Yeah, I mean,
I've heard the
story.
so
Come on.
played out.
Yeah,
Like-
I need evil versus evil. That's
like,
what I want.
man.
I want evil versus evil, and I want to be a bad guy fighting another bad guy, while the good guy's over there just like, all right, well, let's let him duke it out, I guess.
Man,
I don't know how you would do that in a game format, though. It can be done. I can tell you that. It can be done. Because if I just played Pacific Drive and they somehow mashed survival with roguelike and physics-based silliness, yeah, anything can be done.
I think
You just got to think about it. You know?
Takes the right
Cyberpunk
team.
did a good job at that.
Say again?
Cyberpunk did a good job
Oh,
at that, in my
yeah?
opinion. Great.
You're a huge Cyberpunk fan,
No, I
John.
really am.
Yeah.
I love that game. Like, I'm replaying it again. Like,
Again?
Again.
What playthrough is this?
So-
7?
so there's no like journey to system or anything like
yeah.
that.
Like in the Dark Souls
Yeah,
series.
so it's
Yeah.
like there is a mod for it. And right now I'm playing it with like stupid amounts of mods. So like, but I have almost like 300, 400 hours on the game.
Wow.
Because like I
Slow down.
I just play it over and over. No, like V, like the MC is like you get to make so many decisions that like
yep.
will dictate how these characters will be there for you at the very end of your story. So it's like the way that you beat the game is purely dependent on how did you treat these people. You know, like, were you there for them? You know, and if you weren't, it's like, well, they're not there for you.
But it doesn't do that stupid thing. I remember in Infamous, it was like they had a meter. You know,
No,
one side was a good side,
no
and one
meter.
side was a bad side.
No meter. So like,
sick.
Dude,
it'll
there's
be,
so many
yeah,
different
it's crazy.
endings. Do you remember when I beat that game? I came in and I was like, this game invoked emotion.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was pissed. I was mad at the way the game ended because I thought I was going to get a particular ending,
Yes.
but I did it incorrectly. I got played by the game, and I was so upset about it. I thought I had the right path. I was trying to be this like neutral guy where, you know, I'm not sure if this is wrong, but I'm trying to protect people, and it ruined my playthrough. I ended up being the bad guy, if you will, right?
Yeah.
It
Damn.
made me so upset because the bad guys, quote unquote, played me like a freaking flute, dude. I got played so good.
I know what ending you
See,
got.
okay, that
Yes.
makes me want to play it now because I did play it for a little bit, but it had some kind of, maybe it was my computer, to be honest. Let's be fair. It was on the fritz for a little bit, but it had sort of a I don't know. I'm real big on the way a game feels,
Yeah.
and I know that's such a subjective, nebulous term, but it didn't feel quick. It felt weighty, and that's probably a me thing. But you telling me that means that they wrote these characters in a way that you could theoretically try your hardest and still get screwed
And
over.
still fail.
That is a great story, like a great writing
And
job.
I think the world building in Cyberpunk is so underrated.
Oh, really?
Because in Night City, it's almost like a being. Like it's almost a thing that's like alive. Like you'll hear a lot of the characters.
The
Like
city is
they'll
alive.
talk about like how Night City, it'll chew you up and spit you out. Like if you watch the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime on Netflix, those characters are directly in the game. So it's like you get to interact with the characters from the show, and V, the main character in the game, even talks about the main character of the show.
Wow.
Because in the show, he had a crazy ending.
Yeah.
Let me just say, you know, I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah,
but
let's try to avoid spoilers. But again, Cyberpunk's been out for what? 7 years.
So
now?
Cyberpunk
5
Edge
years?
Runners, they did an update to the game with it.
Sick.
But I would recommend like watching, because the anime, it takes place, I want to say, right before V gets to Night City from Atlanta.
Oh, right out of the gate.
Yeah, so Cyberpunk Edge Runners, like I think there's like a month of time between when the show ends and when V comes back to Night City from Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy.
That's sick.
Definitely an amazing game. I will say I tried to play it when they first released the game, and it was not the game it is today.
No.
As far as functionality goes. I will also say the game is extremely dynamic in the way that you can play it. So when you go in to play it, if you're not enjoying the way that you're experiencing the game, like the way it feels, like you're fighting, you're change the style of
Play it
combat.
differently.
Yes, because you may have just chosen a way that you don't enjoy in that game. That's what I did the first time. I tried to play it, and the style of combat that I chose, I hated. When I came back into it, I chose a completely different style, and it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It felt good.
I love
And
that.
one cool thing they did is like you can, at any point in the game, you can completely reset all of your abilities and just respec your character
For no cost?
It's money, in-game money. So it's like, I think it's a couple eddies, but it's not a lot to where it's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Like you could do a couple gigs and like have enough to just completely respec your character.
That's so cool. I super hate when they charge me to reset my points or give me a MacGuffin that I have to pop. Well, maybe not super hate, but it's definitely an annoyance. And the last time I ran into that was freaking Dark Souls 2. It wasn't like consequential. I just wanted to play a different build, but I didn't have any more MacGuffins. I forget what the MacGuffin is in that, but
Wasn't it like, I think I'm thinking of something. I'm thinking of that bathtub you'd get in to change your gender.
oh yeah. You get in like the coffin or freezer or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you pop out and you're a woman or a lady
That
or,
area is
or a
very
man,
beautiful,
depending on
by
your
the
starting
way.
position there.
That area is beautiful.
It's hilarious. What's great about that is that it doesn't matter even a little bit in the Dark Souls. Like all the character customization in Dark
It's
Souls,
pointless.
you are wasting your time. Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to play Cyberpunk
Yeah.
now.
I promise, last thing I'll say on Cyberpunk is the DLC is amazing.
It's worth it.
The DLC is amazing, and the way that they made it is where it will actually integrate with the main story. So like if you play the last mission without doing any of the DLC stuff, you low-key kind of rob yourself of an added experience.
Oh, man.
Because it adds a new set of characters, a new set of challenges, a new set of decisions that V has to make, because now there's all these new rotating parts that have just come into his life.
Oh, that's so cool.
So like
I
the
love
way
that.
that it's like, it was cool because like my introduction to DLCs was in Dark Souls. So it was like, oh, you beat the main game, then you play the DLC, then you play the next one. But this DLC, it incorporates right into just the main story. It's crazy.
I love that. That's cool.
All right, I'll stop now. I'll get off.
No, it's okay.
No,
Hey,
that was good.
If you're really into something, I listen to you talking all day because at the end of the day, I want to hear about, what makes you tick as a gamer. And if Cyberpunk does that for you, talk about it all you want, man. But I will pivot a little bit. That's CD Projekt Red, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Same people
man.
that made Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I've never touched a Witcher game. I've never had.
Are you a fantasy genre guy?
I am. Like, I like the aspect. Like, I play a lot of fantasy games, but just Witcher is just never
Really got to you.
Like, it's just. I remember reading the Game Informer.
Lean into your mic a bit more.
I remember reading the Game Informer and like, oh, this looks cool. Never bought the game. Like, it's just I've never. That stood out to me.
Yeah. It's definitely got. I will say, if you do want to get into The Witcher 3, it has some of the best side quests I think I've ever seen.
That's what I've heard.
It's like easy to over level yourself on accident because you'll be playing something that's super cool, and then 20 feet to the left, there's another sick quest, and you're like, well, I got to do this one now.
Yep.
And
Cyberpunk kind of
really
has that
liked
to
The
it as
Witcher.
well.
It does.
Does it really?
It
Yeah,
does.
the side
Okay.
quests feel like the main story. And it's
Yeah.
because they do integrate into the main
it
story.
integrates in
Yep.
because of like the way that V, like the Night City is built up and what V is in that city.
Yeah.
It's like you literally just get calls like, hey, I need you to take care of this for me.
It sounds
You know,
like it sounds like a cyberpunk type feel, obviously, because it is. But it's like GTA meets Deus Ex. Do you guys know what Deus Ex is?
I do not.
No.
Y'all are young. That's okay. It came out in 2000. And the genre that Cyberpunk kind of falls into, that open world-ish genre where you can approach situations in any way you want. There's probably a game before it that might have done it better, but the one that I remember the most is Deus Ex. And it's centered around like a terrorist cell that blew up the World Trade Center before the World Trade Center fell.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's actually one of
Whoa.
the pieces of trivia about Deus Ex that I love is that they wrote this espionage story and you're like a secret agent, just bionically enhanced, and like you can customize the hell out of your character to be like sneaky, or you can be Mr. Rocket Launcher if you want. But before 9/11 happened, you could play Deus Ex and look out on the skyline, and there's no Twin Towers on the skyline in that game.
Wow.
It's like a little creepy that they did that, but I mean, who could have known, right? Who would have?
Yeah, they didn't actually predict it. It was just a coincidence.
You know that
Crazy
message
one.
that like when you started getting that message is like this
This
has
is
nothing to do.
fictional.
Like they were heavy on that one.
Yeah.
They were heavy on that
I've never
one.
seen a thing where I like had to heed that warning in any way, you know?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can really think of. It was like premonition. But I digress. The play, if you guys ever get a chance to play Deus Ex, hell, I'm sure you could get it on GOG for next to no money. But it is a fantastic play. Play a little old because it's 2000. But, you know, as far as the story goes and the choices you can make, you can either sneak your way in, you can blow your way up, you can manipulate people to do stuff for you. Like Deus Ex has it all.
That's crazy that they had that in 2000.
Right? It was
Like,
a little bit groundbreaking.
Yeah, because like I never liked that about games where it was like you have to do this, like you have to do
Yeah.
it this way.
Yeah.
I've always liked being able to have like sure, give me an incentive, like, oh, if I'm sneaky, I get a little more money or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, don't make me do it this way.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like some of the RPGs of the world suffer from that a bit. Take Fallout as a great example. If you look up all of the rewards for each pathway that you take, I guess if you make all the rewards the same, it makes the pathways a little bit generic. But also, I don't want to be cut out of getting an extra 10 grand in my bank account because I'm a sneaky person instead of a person who comes in with a axe or whatever. So
Yeah,
I remember
kinda
playing it and like I would,
de-incentivizing.
yeah,
At least balance it out somewhere.
there is an optimal path
Yep.
based on what you get as a reward. So if you're just playing like just to role play and enjoying that sort of thing, it's not the worst thing in the world. But you know, I can see some players like me. I'm a min max guy. I want to make sure I squeeze everything I can out of every situation. And you know, if you make the rewards so wildly different, yeah, that can kind of steer you in one direction without meaning to, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Well, cool. Cyberpunk. I'm gonna have to pick that one up.
No, man, it's like,
It's
bro,
worth
there's
it.
content that I still haven't seen, and I have that many hours in the game.
Good God, dude.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna have to go down like a checklist and make sure I get all the missions and stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple missions where like you get some stupid weapons that are just like I don't know if there's a rating on this, but like there's a mission you can do where like you only have a short window to do it.
Yeah.
But you get a massive dildo club.
Hell yeah.
and when you unlock it, like when you like equip it, like Veal kind of like pick it up like that and then like
wiggle
like,
it with his finger,
just
like, oh no.
And like it starts vibrating as you like
Oh
hit
my
Veal.
God.
It's crazy.
Again, that brings me back to the adult writing. Like back in the day when video games came out, it seemed very childish, because you only have like Mario and some, character-based stuff. But at the end of the day, it kind of looked a little childish. But we've come to the point in not just technology to make things look the way they do, but that generation, we grew up. We're adults now. I'm 39. You're 28, 7, something like that. What are you, 20?
I'm 22.
22? God dang, what a spread, right?
Yeah.
17 years older than you. Anyway, I really appreciate that the game companies now are writing things for adults.
Yeah.
Because video games are such a flexible medium that you can tell and do pretty much any story you want. But having the ability to show that off in a technological sense and make a player feel like they're in that world, that they're embodying the character of V, that they're making these decisions, that they're wiggling the dildo club.
Yeah. I mean, well, the industry's grown with the player base, right?
It
Like
really has. Yeah.
It's like
100%.
when it first came out, right? It was the younger generation that, grabbed onto video games, and now they're in their full-time careers creating those video games. And so they're craving not childish content. They want real stories with real emotions, with things that matter, that the conflicts and the decisions that you have to make as an adult, making them integrated into those games evokes that emotion that you get at the end of a Cyberpunk game with these realistic, hard life decisions that you have to make with the relationships with people and like setting boundaries, right? Like, oh, I don't like this guy. Like, I like this guy, or
not
or
answering
whatever,
that phone call.
Yeah, exactly. Like, screw this guy. I don't want to answer this text message.
No, cousin, I do not want to go bowling with you again.
Yeah, and it's like, but they all have consequences, and so it's generating a real story. It's something that I think.
Something that actually grips you.
Yeah.
That takes you to a different place,
Yeah, 100%.
Man, Pacific Drive did that, and I didn't see a single character. It's all voice acting. They're talking to you over this radio, and it's
amazing.
a one-way radio. I have a silent protagonist in that. It's awesome. And they're really getting good. But Pacific Drive did a really good job of writing characters that were both believable, but also, what's the word I want here? Bombastic. They were pronounced in their personalities. I could tell you what Tobias is like. I can tell you what Oppie is like. I know those people. Oppie's an 80-year-old crotchety lady who's mad about the fact that she lost her husband and she's trying to find him. That comes across in the writing. And I'm really enjoying seeing games. It's not a new concept, right? Having an adult type storyline. Hell, Deus Ex did it in 2000.
Yep.
That's not really, it's not an adult game the way that you would think of like, this has language and violence and boobies in it. But it is an adult story that kids wouldn't really be into. And even back then, seeing writers do interesting things with the medium of games as far as story goes is super fascinating. Because you've got your Marios of the world. What are you trying to do? Rescue a princess. There's not really any emotion connected to that. But then when you pivot over into things like The Witcher and Cyberpunk, like those characters are written well. They're something you can actually grab onto as a player and enjoy that space.
You know what? That's interesting because I've seen that migration to even inside of Nintendo's video games too. When they came out with Tears of the Kingdom, the story.
I haven't played that. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So they started to integrate more like lore, more story, like because the Zelda games have always been like extremely vague lore, like it's not really cohesive. It's definitely not like streamlined. It still is kind of wonky, but
sure.
They started to really dive into some interesting scenarios in that game where you're working with the past and the present and like
Wow.
these integrated storylines, and it added a complexity to a Nintendo game, which, like you were saying, like it used to just be like, oh, fun Mario guy, you know, like or Link was the silent guy, and he was just to rescue the princess, and that was really all it was. And then they started, like, Breath of the Wild came out, and they added a little more complexity to the story.
Yeah.
They started personifying the characters a little more is what really happened. Link started to have some real problems. Zelda started displaying those real problems, and it felt more serious.
Yeah.
It wasn't just rescue the princess, like all, you know,
Even
you're the
Ocarina
hero.
of the Time, it
started to do
even
that. Yeah,
the Ocarina of Time is like that. You know,
Yeah.
what's the most emotion you know out of Link in that game?
Yeah,
That's about it. You get 10,000 of those, and that's all he's ever said.
Yeah, I mean, they do a little bit of it in there, but it's still the hero to save the princess story without too much complexity. It started out with, you know, Princess Zelda being kidnapped from Ganon in the very beginning, and then Link witnessing it, and he's like, oh, I've got to do something about it.
Yeah.
That's just the basic hero story arc, which doesn't bring much complexity into it. That's why I was like, when I started enjoying Tears of the Kingdom, they have all these beautiful cinematics that they go through, and they pull you through the lore of what's going on with a little bit more depth and complexity inside of the story. So it's not just here's the end game, here's the goal. It's here's the journey, here's what's happening during the process, to add a little more depth and feeling, because the player base is grown up, and they need more depth to your game, or they're not going to play it. They need to be grabbed in. They need to have some substance, right?
For sure. That phenomenon of the player base growing up is really interesting, and it even affects like game production at a team level. Like take Nintendo, for instance. Super Mario Odyssey. Hands down, in my opinion, the best Mario game, without question. And you know what makes it great? It's because the people who played Mario when they were kids grew up and said, we want to make a Mario game now. 30 years later, however many years later, they make this love letter to Mario. And it's incredible because they actually love Mario. They actually love that series. They grew up with it, and it makes them, you know, nostalgic. It makes them feel something. And it really shines through in the work that they do for games like Mario Odyssey. You know, and it's so fun to watch that sort of thing happen these days.
Yeah, developers with passion, I think, drive an amazing video game.
1,000%.
And then with Odyssey, what's so crazy is like I have a very close friend that his mom grew up playing like the Mario, you know, like 64 games, and she's like an older lady now. You know, she's a retired teacher. You know, she was an admin at a school. You know, like she went through her whole career. You know, and like she was a teacher. Like I've met her. Like she's made like banana bread. You know, whatever, and she found out on Facebook about Mario Odyssey and begged my friend to borrow his Switch so she could play it. You know, so here's this lady who's like, you know, retired, you know, like living in, and she played the crap out of Mario Odyssey and loved it. And her previous time playing it was years ago. Wow. So I think it speaks to like what the Nintendo devs can do. Yeah. Right. And it drives me up a wall that they're so good at making games. They really just like lock people in, multi-generational. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, Nintendo is special in doing that because they've cornered part of a market that is really not touched by the other company. Or
it's theirs.
They try to touch it. You know, you've got your Ratchet and Clanks. You've got your Crash Bandicoots. Nothing is as big or will ever... I don't know. I won't say will ever, but it sure seems like the face of video games is Mario, and it's always going to be Mario. And Nintendo's got a really good kind of... They've got their claws into that section of the gaming world. And, man, good luck trying to crack into that, Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, you're fighting nostalgia.
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
That is arguably one of the most important things when it comes to basically anything. If you've got nostalgia for it, even if it's a shitty thing, you're going to enjoy it.
Yep.
It's so accessible. Yeah. Like my mom can sit down and we can play Mario Party.
That's the genius of Nintendo.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Boil it down to the simplest format without making me feel like a complete idiot. And you've got a room full of happy people that are playing Mario Party.
Great time.
Yeah. 100%.
Can't get away from them.
Yeah.
They sink their claws in.
I'll pivot topics a little bit. They're making some choices lately that I think are reminiscent of the Wii U and the
gosh.
Virtual Boy. Not as bad as the Virtual
No,
Boy.
I think the
but-
Wii U was such a disaster. I don't think they can be replicated. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
pretty bad.
But I mean, they were trying something.
And I remember going to friends' houses that had a Wii U and having fun.
I didn't know a single
it's
person.
Like, I actually know 3 people that had
What?
a Wii U. Yeah.
That's actually insane. I went almost up until the Switch release without understanding what the Wii U even was.
Dude,
And I was big into games. Like I understood video games,
Right.
and especially even Nintendo. I loved Zelda stuff, right? And even with the release of Skyward Sword and everyone playing it, they had like a new release on. I think they also did a remaster of Wind Waker on Wii U.
Yeah,
all of those
it looks good,
and it was right. They did a bunch of awesome stuff, but I genuinely had no clue when they released it. I didn't even understand what the platform was. I thought it was an extension of the normal Wii. I thought it was like an accessory.
The marketing around that thing was so bad.
And so I never even looked into it as a console or something that I wanted to purchase because I didn't even understand that it existed necessarily.
Well, that's on Nintendo for sure.
That's my point. Like, what a flop of a system release.
That's
brutal.
Well, they've got their feet in it again with the Switch 2. That came out, last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that?
Yeah. Nailed the marketing on
See,
that one.
and I can't even tell you the release date because that's how little of a shit I give about a Switch 2.
Yeah.
Because I like the Switch.
Yeah.
It could have used more power, but 2 seems excessive. Maybe say Pro.
Pro.
instead.
No, it should have been
Should
a
have
pro.
been a Pro.
Should have been a Pro.
1,000%.
Should have been
And
a
then on
Pro.
top of that, there's the bricking situation.
Yeah, no, I even have it up.
Actually, you know what? I may not have all the facts. Tell me a little bit about that. What's going on?
I'll read you the specific verbiage like from Nintendo's new TOS. So the specific verbiage is that users acknowledge that if they fail to comply with the foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account and or the applicable Nintendo device permanently unusable in whole or in part.
Whoa. So this is starting to bang on the door of, I bought this, I should be able to modify it.
Correct. So the what you're not allowed to do, the restrictions is explicitly you're not allowed to publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works of anything to do with the Nintendo account, which basically means
No streaming. That's
Yes.
what I heard.
dude, and it's nuts, right? Because Nintendo has like killed YouTube accounts, right? That have used
Totally.
copyrighted,
Absolutely.
The DMCA
footage or whatever. It automatically just axed them. Like I understand it's only for the Switch 2 that these TOS are applying to, but I'm assuming it's going to be that going forward.
Yeah,
on
you
any
can only
Nintendo
assume
device.
that, right?
But it's insane because it's like, on the one hand, like I love a good villain. I understand, like the slapping, your balls on the table and just being like, yeah, you can't do this to my product.
Yeah.
I get it, right? But if you're going to sit here and essentially tell me that buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that like a week ago. I had never run across, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. That is so genius to me.
I mean that's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
That's like the picket fence protest sign,
Yeah. If I'm paying you $500
Yes.
for something, I should be able to take it apart completely and
The hardware
it's
is mine.
It's mine. I'm not
Yeah.
buying a
I
license.
own this.
I'm not buying a license
Yeah.
to your device. Like I'm buying your device.
And I get digital games not having like quote unquote ownership. That's a bit more nebulous than a physical device that I'm holding in front of me.
Yes.
If you're going to restrict me from a software level because you didn't like what I did or said,
Well,
fuck you.
they're like bricking consoles.
But no, it's already
Yeah,
on a
that's-
hardware level
Like,
now.
yeah,
That's messed up.
They're making it unusable.
That's
Like you can't do
completely messed
anything
up.
with it. After they detect whatever issue, they have these. I don't remember the little cards that they had for the Switch 1. But it was basically like a bunch of pirated games that you could. It was one
Yeah.
card that gave you a bunch of access.
Oh yeah,
to
kind of had a
games.
micro SD card in it. You could.
Yeah, it
upload-
was something like
Yeah, I
that.
get what you mean.
And if they've set up now with the Switch 2, if you have that in your console and you end up connecting to the internet, they will ban your Nintendo Online account and brick your console.
golly,
And they're doing it like at a rapid rate.
I hate this.
Yeah.
No,
I hate
it's-
this time where Nintendo's always been anti-emulator, anti-everything. Like they clamp down hard. That's my biggest knock against Nintendo in general is their reliance on legality and stuff. what do you call somebody? Litigious. That's the word I want.
Yeah.
They're too litigious. Like, calm down. Somebody made a Pokemon game off to the side. Were you going to make that Pokemon game? I don't know how I'm going to play Pokemon Uranium. I'm not. Nintendo was never going to do that. And you know what? Those guys who did that, Pokemon, are you guys Pokemon guys?
No.
No, me neither.
Sadly.
But if you play it, man, they did a great,
Yeah,
good
off,
job.
huh?
I have to say, Pokemon games seem pretty accessible, even if you're not you weren't really in it.
I'm not really a turn-based guy, but Pokemon, you collect
It's a classic.
It's classic.
I played Go.
I still play Go.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our bosses here at our company plays Go, and I thought
does
this
a
was-
lot.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
he went on like a 3-mile walk on his
Hey, man.
lost track of time or something. Just
Look,
playing
those
Pokemon
Gengars
Go.
aren't going to catch themselves.
That's
either.
right.
And I got a Ditto, and I thought I was like so cool.
Yeah, I think collectively our message I'm talking to you, Nintendo. You hear me? Go away. Let me have my Switch and let me do my thing.
Yeah, here's the thing.
It's
I'm going to
crazy.
buy your products anyway. It's
Yeah.
not like
That's what
you're
makes
not
me
going to get the
mad.
$500
Yeah.
out of me.
Nobody else is offering it.
I want your console and I want your games, but I also want the freedom to do whatever I want with those games.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to give you the money.
Especially now you're charging $80 a game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
whoa,
we could
bro.
get into that.
Like,
Oh, that's
you
a
know,
whole
you're charging
nother
$80
topic.
a
Oh, I'm
game.
so pissed about that.
No, and because what makes me mad is the entire gaming industry is going to see. All right,
Well, they're moving
they're
towards
paying.
that.
I mean, sure, but like, what are we doing?
It's the it's for me. It's on that subject. It's an attitude thing, and the person who embodies the incorrect attitude the most is Randy fucking Pitchford of Borderlands.
Oh, man.
My God! He recently somebody was stating that they tweeted at him or whatever. Hey, Gearbox, that $80 for a game. I hope you don't expect these people, these Americans who are struggling right now, to pay $80 for a game. And his response was, "When I was younger, I had a part-time job scooping ice cream, and games were $80 then." And I stood. Yeah, what a disconnect.
They were
Fuck
not
you, dude.
$80.
Goodness.
Yeah. Well, actually, I will correct you. They were. There were
you
some games that were
serious?
$80, $90 for the Sega Genesis even.
Huh?
Can you imagine taking home a $90 gaming and beating it in 3 hours?
Well, and with inflation, that's way more expensive.
That is a lot
That's
more money now.
a bananas amount of money. Take a look at y'all should look at some historical prices for consoles. The Philips CDI, which I mentioned as a joke earlier. God, don't get me wrong, but it was in the ballpark of $1,000 in 1980
Wow.
something.
Oh my
gosh.
And how much is that now?
Right, I was
Yeah.
going to say at least double.
And what
if
makes me
not-
mad about these
if not more.
If not
boomer
more, yeah.
CEOs, it's like they don't understand. I feel like they don't know how inflation works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
They're insulated from it. They've got money. They don't have to worry about how
Yeah.
inflation works because at the end of the day, they're just going to get the milk in the
Well,
refrigerator.
it's their
know?
argument is games have been a certain price for a certain amount of time. So with inflation, we can increase the pricing. The problem is there's more accessibility with more that's basic economics. With higher availability, prices drive down.
Right. That's
It's
how
higher
it works.
accessibility.
That's called
There
competition.
is more games, more developers, more studios, more consoles than there has ever been in the world.
Yeah.
And so you can't then say, oh, I mean, Nintendo has a play because they're exclusive, but not really.
Yeah, not really.
You're not the only game that is, puzzled like a Zelda game now.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other.
You think
you're
you
not
think you're the only Metroid?
Pokemon?
You
Right.
think you're the only Metroid
Exactly,
around?
exactly.
Hollow Knight exists. I played the fuck out
They
of that
can
game.
drive it because of nostalgia, because we want their consoles.
that's really what it is. It's
Yeah.
100%.
nostalgia.
They get to
Yeah.
they get to push on that pressure point of like, you just want our game because we're Nintendo and you remember the good old days of playing Mario with your buddies or
100%.
whatever. Like, it's tragic that they're able to strong arm people like that because it's sold out. It did great.
Yeah.
It's one of the highest selling consoles number wise ever.
Even right
at this
now.
point.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Unfortunate.
And with Nintendo, I think I've tried to think about why it makes me so mad what they're doing with the two, and I started thinking about my first Nintendo was a Nintendo DSi,
Nice.
and I realized my very first introduction to Nintendo was pirating their games, just from the very beginning, because I never purchased a Nintendo game.
That's hilarious.
I had an SD card that I would pull games off of 3 CD discs that my mom got from who knows who. I don't know where she got it from. But it was literally, I would put it into her laptop. There was a selection of games I could choose from. I would move them into the SD card that went into a Nintendo game card adapter.
Nice.
I would then put it in, slot it into my Switch, and now, or my DS. And now I had I had 10 to 15 games to just choose from that I could just play.
Yeah.
And I could do cheats on all of those individual games as well if I still wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's like I grew up doing exactly what Nintendo did not want you to do with their products.
100%.
And I want to keep
crazy.
doing that. That's my
That's
nostalgia.
your nostalgia.
That's my
It's cracking
nostalgia.
Nintendo, I
Nintendo.
started off ripping you off, and now I'd like to rip you off some
I'd
more.
like to continue.
Yeah.
So
Fair
it's,
enough.
It's crazy.
I get it.
hilarious.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate here. I get it. We don't want people reverse engineering the Switch and then making a competing console that plays Switch games, quote unquote. You know, says on the box it's $199, plays Switch 2 games. You definitely don't want that. But also, I bought a product and I would like to flex it a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like and that's not the argument. I feel like the argument is I've purchased your game. A great example of this is with the Nintendo, the first Switch that came out. They came out with Breath of the Wild. The Switch hardware was already outdated when they released it.
Yep.
What I want to do is play your game in a playable format.
Oh my
Where
god. Yes.
I'm not playing at 15 FPS
Yeah.
in a lot of zones. And so I want to take this official copy of the game that I bought with the official console that I bought, and I want to emulate that on my computer hardware so that I can play the game in a playable FPS
Yeah.
that's good and
Yeah.
enjoyable. And that's what they want to crack down. It's like, so I'm not saying I don't want to buy your product and support the developers and support the company for the products that they're producing, and because those are amazing. I love the products that they're producing. It's just let me do with it now that I own that copy, to use it however I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what are we doing?
I think something game companies need to realize is that as technology progresses and things become more and more open source, we can see behind the curtain a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like right now, I have Godot installed on my computer, and I'm looking at what it would take to make a video game. And while, yes, it is very complicated and it's a hard process and it requires a lot of effort, at the end of the day, Godot was free. The sprite thing that I want to use to make sprites is $20. The tools themselves don't cost that much money. It's the labor that it takes to make a good thing that they're really wanting to recoup. I get it. And you've got a lot of talented people and in a lot of places with these larger companies, but unfortunately for them, they are competing with 2-3-man shops like Team Cherry, for example, doing the Hollow Knight thing. That's a 3-man shop with a bunch of other outsourced things. They're hiring out, but at the core, it's those 3 folks.
Insane, by the way.
Yeah, one of the best games ever made. Period. But that 3-man team is making a better product than Mario Kart World, in my opinion.
I would agree.
100%. So at the end of the day, I can either go over to Nintendo and buy their subpar product that Breath of the Wild runs at 15 frames a second sometimes, or I can wander over here and get just as much enjoyment, if not more, from some of these smaller indie games, and I can get a lot of them,
Yep.
Because for every Mario, there's 20 Balatros, there's 20 Hollow Knights, there's 20, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. There's so many games out these days.
It's the downfall of the AAA or quadruple A, whatever they're calling it.
Is that
now,
what we're watching
studios.
right now? Is that
Yes.
what's happening?
That's exactly what's happening.
Because I know you can't charge
Why?
$100 for a video game, because when it gets to that point, I'm going to say I'm out. I don't have time for that.
These bigger studios are going to have to figure it out internally because they're dumping so much resources into their video games, and then, well, here's the problem: is people are still buying them, but we're still watching the downfall because we're seeing games that have small 2-3 dev studios, and they're cranking out amazing content.
It's
Wonderful
insane.
content.
It's insane. Even there's a new game out right now called Peak. That it's like an $8 game.
Yep.
And it's literally like you can play with your friends.
Oh,
You're trying to climb a
I know
mountain.
that one. Yeah.
And it's nuts. Like it released, and guess what? They had it on sale for $4. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that, I don't know who the studio that made Peak was, right? But it's one of like the highest games selling right now. So
Yeah.
you're telling me that this little team made this game and it's selling better, but then we have a developer like Bungie that is quite literally in the gutter, right? And they spent years, decades, right, making games,
Yeah.
and they can't figure it out.
They can't figure it out.
And
Marathon is
it's
a
crazy.
dumpster fire right now.
They postponed it indefinitely.
Indefinitely?
Indefinitely.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. That's
Bungie's
wild.
cooked.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing I could get onto, but it's bad.
They had an issue recently. Did you hear about the art asset issue?
No.
Recently. I will specify that Bungie is correcting this. So good on them but it's a little, this is not the first time this has happened. So they had an artist that is no longer at Bungie who used some assets or created some assets that were either directly ripped off or derivative of another artist who's not on their team. And that artist called him out and was like, hey guys, just so you know, I made this like years ago. So maybe don't steal my artwork. And they take it seriously, but come on guys. Like, you've been doing this for how long and you can't figure that shit out? Let's stop farting around, make a good product and make it original.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not hard, but there's so many possibilities and so many different avenues in the creative world. It's almost infinite. So for them not to be able to put it together, they made fucking Halo.
Yes.
Right.
You're like, come on now. Let's get our act together.
It's because the size of these companies are. It's not the individual developers that are the problem.
No.
It's the size of
the business.
Yeah, it's the management, right? It's the
yeah.
They're these massive corporations trying to appease shareholders, and they want to see revenue drive up.
We were just talking about that yesterday,
dude. It's the death of all large businesses. It's the death of the empire, right? They became
growth.
too large for their own good,
They
topple over every single time. That's why these young studios are doing so good, is because they don't have that. We need to hit these numbers, these margins. It's not about the numbers. It's about the passion.
You're trying to make a good game.
I want to create a game that I would want to play.
Yeah.
Right. And if that's the goal, and it's not messed up by management going, well, we need this cranked out by this date, and it has to be to this quality. We need to add this many features, and it's like no, just what's good, what is fun.
Yeah.
And you have simple games like Lethal Company where friends can get together, and it's like, dude, this game is super basic. One guy spun it up, knocked it out of the park, and people love it.
And you can play it on a toaster.
You play it on a toaster.
That's
because
amazing.
it doesn't matter
that.
because it's a fun game, and it's because it was passion. He saw a game that he wanted to create. He created a game, and people loved it because it was a passion. And when you create a game with passion, it's different than these big studios.
It shows.
Yes,
it shows.
It absolutely shows.
Look at Repo. Repo's
probably even a better example of
Honestly,
it.
I mean,
They've
Repo's hilarious.
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I'm really into. That's why I like Steam the most as far as like my gaming platforms go. Although I really love my PlayStation 5, but Steam is the best for me because I do like those indie style games. I like unique and interesting ideas, and I would have never found something like Nintendo would never produce Pacific Drive, never, because it's just not in their wheelhouse. But on top of that, that's a bit of a risky move. Those big companies can't take risky moves. And if there was advice that I could give to a big company, I would say you need to splinter a little bit. Take 10% of whatever it is you've got as far as revenue or capital to work with, siphon that off, and literally make Nintendo Junior or whatever you want to call this mini studio. It would be better if these big people, these big houses like a Nintendo or a Microsoft had a way to make tons of little indie games and experiment with stuff. Yes, this didn't work. No,
That's
this,
really smart,
That's a good
actually.
idea.
Hey, let these people run with their passion projects.
Yeah.
It's like basically coming in. It's almost a venture capitalist, if you will,
little
but
bit,
you're
yeah.
keeping it somewhat gated, if you will. So it's like you're giving these teams creative freedom. Create your own game. We're excited to see what you come up with. Have fun, knock it out, and you just fund these smaller projects because the overhead. That's why these indies are doing so great. Is their price point to come into their game is super low because the budget for building the game was so low to begin with.
Yeah.
So you're creating opportunity for just creative freedom, and if you can have someone funding that studio to make it happen, that's awesome.
That's all you would need. You just need to open it up and allow creative freedom to do what it needs to do. And I'll tell you, if you focus test the shit out of your games, you're going to wind up with the most lowest common denominator product, and no one is going to have a great time. They're going to have a fine time, and fine
it creates average games.
6.0.
And gaming has been around for too long. An average game doesn't do well anymore.
No, it has to be unique. We've all seen Mario. We've all seen Metroid. We've all seen Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
You've really got to elevate yourself. Like Pacific Drive is, I keep coming back to it. It's such a unique example. Mm-hmm. I'm customizing this car and going on this loop, this roguelike loop. And I wasn't experiencing the roguelike loop unless I was playing something like a Dead Cells or whatever. And Dead Cells, amazing game, just one of the best things, probably the only good thing to come out of France, really. But the I love you, France.
No comment. No comment.
Okay, no, but in all seriousness, I really appreciate the go out on a limb kind of nature for these indie studios, and I'm not a businessman. I don't care to be a businessman. I just know what I like to play, and what I'm telling you is, big companies, y'all's products are subpar. Sorry, not sorry.
They spend all the time
They're
in the wrong
subpar.
places.
Yeah, it's
Stop
crazy.
making it look like real life. I don't care.
Yeah, I
and-
couldn't care less.
And
about
that's
whether it looks
another
like
thing
real life.
that could start a whole nother rabbit hole, is like the rate at which games are progressing performance wise, right?
It's
And
too much.
If you look at like how hardware is progressing, hardware is kind of slowing down as
Yeah.
far as like how
true.
many more frames you can get, how many more CUDA cores, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's going to get to a point. Well, I feel like it's already gotten to a point where it's like, I'm a 1080p gamer, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't need
care.
1440 or whatever.
I don't care that I can see the hair follicles on this character's head.
It's
you know?
cool.
Sure, yeah, like if that floats your boat, right? But like, I want to kill a person. I want to like, what I mean.
context.
I'm gonna clip that. John wants to kill people.
Like I just want to play a good game.
Yeah, 100%. You wanna have fun. Yep.
It needs
I
to
wanna
feel
play.
good. It needs to play good. It needs to have a great story. It doesn't always even have to have a great story, but like, if you're trying to round off these big title games and you're trying to check the boxes of what really matters,
Yeah.
graphics, let's go ahead and put that back like
At the bottom.
Yeah, the very bottom.
Very
And they're
bottom.
putting it at the forefront. Like,
Yeah.
it's still this amazing thing that we can increase graphics. It's like not
Oh,
really.
like,
we're to
we're
a
using
point where we need to
Unreal
reel
Engine.
it back.
Yeah, there's a happy medium somewhere where I do want it to look like somewhat of a
Yes,
human.
agreed.
I think The Witcher 3 and that kind of like ilk, they do a bang up job of just enough graphics to convince me of this world. And in fact, some of the stuff that I've been seeing when I'm playing The Witcher, I'm like, damn, that's a good looking sunset right there. That looks awesome.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, dude, I've been
Like,
wanting to get into Ghost of Tsushima.
That game is it looks beautiful, right? And you can run it on your PS4. Albeit it will be angry at you, but you can run it on your PS4.
Yeah, true.
And like it's not, some like, oh my God, look at the God rays. You know what I mean? It's just aesthetically, like they did a great job just making the game look good.
Yeah, choose an art style and really lean into it. Did you guys ever play the Prince of Persia like remake?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, that's.
Wow,
I think this is from 08.
I was about to say, I think I played that on my DS.
Yeah, 08, 09.
I played a Prince of Persia. I think on my PSP.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, like
there's
I remember. I think I played that same game on my
PSP.
DS,
What's
bro.
a PSP?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I know what it is. There's a version of Prince of Persia that I think it was either PS3 or PS4. I can't remember, but it was like a remake in 08, probably PS3. It looks amazing. Looks incredible, runs incredible, but it has a style to it. Like it's a stylistic choice that makes it
I
cool.
get you.
I don't care how good, how close to reality gets. I'm not trying to live in reality.
No, I'm playing a
a game. I
playing a
know that
game.
I'm playing a game. And
Yeah.
you only need it to look so good.
I think that they did a fantastic job in Breath of the Wild with art style, and they've always done that with the Zelda games. The Zelda games have always been an art style, and that not only does what we're saying is like, hey, stop worrying about so much of the like graphic fidelity. Like, is it so realistic? No, make it beautiful. Right? There's a difference between realistic and beautiful.
Yes.
And you can combine the two and you can make something realistically and beautiful. But what matters is I want to be immersed in the world that is that video game, and it doesn't have to be what is reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just make it an art piece. Like, you will stop moments while playing Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Just sit.
And you go, whoa.
You just
like
sit.
you get up to a high point, you look across the land and
See
you're
the
like,
landscape.
oh my gosh, like this
Yeah.
is gorgeous, and you want to take a screenshot. You're like, this is just unreal.
Absolutely.
Dude.
That is what should be the focus, not how many particles or how many hair follicles can I build out on this guy's face.
100%.
Like,
The bar for
Yes.
reality versus graphics is super duper high, and I would say we might never achieve it, but who knows? Technology's cool, but the bar for convincing me is not that high. It's really not that high. You just need to convince me enough that I'm in this world, that I'm embodying
in
this
that
character.
world,
in that world,
not
my
that
world.
game is in your world.
That's a great distinction to
Yes.
make. Yes,
I think
100%.
I think maybe that's where they're getting flipped. Is they're trying to make the games be in your world versus you being in that world. If you can pull me into that world, I don't care what the graphics look like.
Yeah.
Because you pulled me into that world. Now that is reality.
Yeah. I've said this for a long time, and I'll continue to say it. The single most important thing in a video game is its controls. How does it feel? Does it feel good? Is the shooting quick? Do the cards move to the slot quickly? Does everything snap into place? You know, we're in 2025 now, and because of, I don't know, whatever causes it, our smartphones, we have a tendency to want to move quickly these days. And so games need to adapt, and you know, they've done a great job of adapting. But like if you look at Balatro feels
crazy.
good to
It's
play.
insane.
Yeah.
I love playing it on my iPhone because of the haptic feedback that
Oh,
you have on
yeah.
iPhone.
Okay.
So it's like the little
The little
I'd have to like give it to you so you could feel it, but like the way that like, you know, it brings you your deck, or like the way that like if you discard cards,
It's
like,
pretty cool.
It's so satisfying.
That's awesome.
To like just feel the way the phone like.
Yeah, I'll have to try
reacts.
that later. I'd love to experience.
Like it's almost
that.
like I prefer playing it on my phone versus like my computer.
Oh,
like
yeah.
my iPad.
I could see that.
because the haptic is just so cool.
I actually do prefer playing it on my phone because I like the touch controls a whole lot. Like I find myself wanting to like slide the cards with my finger
Yes.
instead of the mouse. And I don't know, it's a personal preference thing, but yeah, at the end of the day, realism, we're not shooting for
No.
perfect reality. We're shooting for a fun
Immersion.
game. Immersion. Yes.
Immersion.
And
Get pulled
and
in.
the fun of the game can be your immersion. Like Balatro is a great example.
I'm in it,
That
dude.
game's I'm in it because instantly I'm like, oh, look at these numbers. They're getting so big, and I've got this synergy going on with this blueprint versus this other Joker, and it's
Yep.
cool. It brings you right into it.
Yep.
And it also, the game gets out of your way. Like if you want to do a thing,
That's a big part, because you can pull immersion in a couple different ways, right? You can pull immersion from story as well. Like we were
Yes.
talking about Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, I don't think is the best mechanical game out there, but the story, dude, it
really
pulls
good.
you
Yeah,
in.
and I would
really.
agree with that. Like some of them, like playing on MNK, it's kind of clunky. Like
Yep.
definitely controller game.
Yep.
But like
100%.
the story,
Yeah,
really makes up
that's
for it.
what pulls the
you'd
immersion.
go controller on Cyberpunk?
Yes.
So-
yeah, I would
Right
agree.
now, I'm not playing it on controller because I'm playing with mods.
Okay.
So for some of the mods, I need the extra keys.
Sure.
Right. But for me, it's fine. Right. But like playing it on my PS5 is a great experience.
That's cool.
So I did hybrid. I had my controller connected to my computer the whole time, and every time I got into my car or drove around,
Yeah.
I would pick the controller up and
Yeah,
play.
driving is a lot
because
better
it's an
on
FPS,
controller.
so you're shooting people
Yeah.
or whatever, and I need my mouse for that.
You need analog for that.
Yes, and I hate going through menus with a controller. Like, let me just use my mouse and click where I want to go.
Yeah.
So I hate going through menus with controllers. I'm just a PC. That's just a PC gamer side of me. It's
I'm with
efficiency.
you. I'm with you.
But
Agreed.
driving with WASD is the worst thing in the
You
world.
can't do digital for something that's analog. Like,
Yeah,
I need to be able to turn a quarter turn, not.
And people, I think you can even set it up probably with like the mouse controlling the steering or something stupid like that.
That just sounds stupid.
It's horrible. It's awful. It's
Bad
not a fun
experience.
time. Yeah, not the way you should do it. So I would actually, every time I got in the car, I would grab my controller and then start driving with the controller.
That's hilarious.
It's amazing.
Because it felt better to play the game that way.
Oh, okay. I mean, whatever works, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean by like the game mechanically wasn't the best. I think like controller feel, but the game story wise could pull you immersively so much so that you would kind of forget that, okay, this is really annoying that I have to pick up my controller to drive because
Sure.
it's so inconvenient.
Some aspects of a game can compensate for others.
Yeah.
Yeah, take all the games that I used to play when I was a kid on the NES. Some of them were dog shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? I played them anyway because, well, I was a little bit captive by the Blockbuster window. Once you get the game, you only have it for 72 hours.
Yeah,
You better
let's
beat
go.
that game. But, I played through some junk when I was a kid. Like,
Man.
and I don't mean to shit on it because I do actually still like this game because of nostalgia, but Yoshi's Cookie.
Oh man.
I wanted to like that game, and I even did.
Yoshi's Cookie.
But it's not the greatest controlling game in the world. There's some shortcomings of it, and don't get me wrong, Yoshi's Cookie is hard as fuck. Especially once you get up to those like higher levels, they're just slamming cookies on the top of the right side. You're like,
That's
slow
funny.
down. I don't need that many cookies. But anyway, I digress. That at the end of the day, for a game, if you're excelling in one area, it can compensate for the other shortcomings, and the only place where that's not true, I think, is the graphics. If your control scheme sucks or your sound engineering is no good, I might pivot away from your game, but I might stay. But when the graphics are concerned, I don't care how good or bad they are. It doesn't make a difference. If it's not fun to play, then I don't want to have anything to do with it. Could be the best looking game in the world, but
Yeah, I'm not playing a video game to watch a movie.
yeah. 1,000%. But I will pump the brakes a little bit, getting shitting all over that concept, because I did play Until Dawn, and I kind of want to play The Quarry. Those movie style games are super great, especially when you have quick decisions that you need to make, like playing with another person. Like when I did with my wife, we played Until Dawn, and we're like, do we go left or right? And it's a fun, entertaining experience that you both can decide.
I feel like in a co-op format.
But what drives that? It's not the graphics.
Still not the graphics.
It's the story.
It is the story.
The story's going to pull you
Agreed.
in. The feel of a game, the story's going to pull you in. It's like there's like only a few factors that are going to really pull to like an immersive experience.
Yeah.
Graphics doesn't, I don't think, ever drive that.
Yeah. And
almost never. I mean, maybe we could come up with an example, but like I can't think of one off the top of my head where I'm like, wow, this game's graphics were so good, I don't care about any other facet of the game.
Yeah. That's called a tech demo. Okay.
Ooh,
okay. Yeah.
That's called a tech demo. You got to put something else in your game other than, wow, this car looks really good. That's why I kind of shy a little bit away from racing games. And see, we're starting to get into genres that I don't like, sports and racing games. I just don't have time for them unless it's a kart racer. And the only reason for that is that I'm not into cars. But if I was into cars and I enjoyed customizing them, maybe Forza Motorsport might make sense for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have two friends that are heavy into Forza.
Yeah, car people love Forza.
Dude, yes.
Gear shift.
I understand it.
Once you get past that point where you have like a steering wheel and a car like simulator, okay, I would be into that. But I also don't have disposable cash to be able to put something like that together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's prohibitively expensive.
It's immersive to the degree. So I can touch on it a little bit because I've kind of not been like super into racing games, but enough so to where I understand that facet of it, because you can get down to like tuning, like in Forza, it goes
deep.
You can tune so many aspects about your suspension, your braking, your accelerating, your gear ratios.
Crazy.
You can get down to the nitty gritty, and what it is at the end of the day is you created your car.
That's not graphics though.
Not graphics.
We're still backing up our stance here. It's not graphics. Yeah. That's gameplay.
Yeah, you immerse yourself creating your own thing, and then you get to go drive the thing that you created.
That's like more mechanics than actual mechanics, because you're a mechanic at that point.
Yeah, literally a mechanic. Yeah. Turn the bolt, buddy.
Yeah, and and I'm not going to crap on anybody who loves racing games.
Absolutely not.
Everybody has their own bag.
Yep.
But I need something a little more. I need some goals, some objectives, like Burnout Paradise. You guys ever played Burnout? No, Burnout Paradise is no car company wanted to touch that game, because the idea of the game is to be in this open world and to just have fun. And a lot of it was launching off of ramps and crashing your car as best you can.
Wow.
Ford and them don't want their cars crashed in any way. I don't know if you've ever seen actual Ford cars in a game. Whenever there's a crash, the car will not be damaged. Ford will not allow that.
Really?
That's part of their contract. Really? If I'm going to give you a Mustang to put in this game and allow you to use the name Mustang with the logo, you can't damage the car.
Does Forza has Fords in it? Do they?
It does have Fords.
They definitely get damaged now. So maybe they were able to throw enough cash.
Okay, then I might be behind the times a bit.
But I will say the damage in Forza is not at all like
it's not
realistic.
Simulation.
It's not like, for example, like if you crash into another car, like you might have a slight dent, or like your windshield might be cracked, but there's no like the crashing isn't really realistic on Forza.
Yeah, Burnout was like, oh, that car got
because you can like go flying like 100 feet in the air.
Yeah, you can fly off a mountain in a Jeep and like
and then land somewhere and keep going, dude.
That's crazy. Yeah,
it's a fun game to mess around in. Like I said, that game.
Yeah,
you said it best. If it's your niche, you're gonna love it, because it gives you the ability to tune those things that you care about as someone who loves cars, right? Like tune the suspension, get all that. But if you're not into that,
what is there for you?
Yeah, there's not much more for you.
Yeah.
Other than maybe competition.
Yeah.
And a thing like a Burnout Paradise, I can't really compare Forza to Burnout though, because Burnout's very much an arcadey style game. Like the car is really just the vehicle, no pun intended, for the leaderboards. How quickly can you get through this racetrack? How much damage in dollars can you cause to this car? Stuff like that. I really like games that can be in a genre, but also be a little bit outside that, think outside the box. Pacific Drive did exactly that. I'm not really driving the car. I'm trying to survive this terrible wasteland with this car in tow.
I think like Mario Kart does a great job at that as well. Like putting that one back out there is, you're playing a racing game, but it's not just a racing game. You're throwing bananas at people. You're throwing shells at people, right?
It's fun.
And if you want to get further into it, they have optimization of racing, right? Like you can build your little cart out and with those fine tunements, not to like an in-depth degree, but then you can do like the time trial. So if you really do enjoy that facet of like, I want to be
the
perfect,
very best.
yes.
Like no one ever was.
Yeah. And truly like master the map or be the best at this and have that competitive edge. You can do it as well through, Mario Kart. But it's accessible and other people will still want to play it because you have those other facets of the game of like throwing the banana at somebody or the shell. It's not
got
like
a star.
Yeah, exactly.
Star,
Turn into a rocket and shoot forward. Like it's not a racing game at that point, right?
It's just fun.
You're battling each other.
I think that's our whole conclusion here.
Yeah.
Make your games fun,
please. Make it fun, man. Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Oh God, that's something that I've been noticing recently, and I think we might be getting a little short on time, so we'll wrap it up. But one of the things that I think games need to figure out quickly, some games do anyway, is that I don't want to spend any more time in your menus than I have to.
Oh, yeah, I just want to play your game.
Menus to be quick. I played through all of Hogwarts Legacy recently.
You finished it all?
Yeah, finished it all. First off, great game. Like, if you like Harry Potter, holy moly, it is so good. I really enjoyed it. The stories are awesome. The game plays good. I felt like a wizard, But the hiccup with that is that in their menus, they look amazing, but they do not get out of your way at all. The moving from section to section is like, nice animation, guys. Can I skip it? Can I get through this animation quicker? I just want to menu through it and assign my spells so I can blow somebody up. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest hang up with games getting out of your way. I want to be doing the thing that you want me to be doing, not spending more time in your menus.
Yeah. I can agree.
I love a quick, snappy menu.
There's one of the first things I do when I get a new phone is open up the developer options in Android and eliminate like UI load times.
Yep.
You can just turn them off.
That's great.
So when you click the app to open, there's not like an animation that has to happen. It just opens the app.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Get out of my way.
Be fun and get out of my way.
Yeah.
And I'll buy your products all day long.
Yeah.
100%.
That idea of just being able to like this might be weird, but I turn my HUD off in a lot of games. Like
some games I'll do that.
I
want the immersion.
I play Cyberpunk no HUD.
You're an insane person.
No HUD. Yeah.
I love that.
I don't have a HUD.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
I feel like that game's HUD is pretty helpful.
Yeah, no, I have it all memorized, so it's like
I guess fair. Well, like once you can fully immerse.
Yeah, like I like the idea of just looking at the thing. Like there's certain like Mirror's Edge Catalyst is another game that I don't play with a HUD on. Like
Well, that game lends itself really well because you're parkouring over all these buildings.
It's beautiful,
and it
just
cool.
cityscape.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get what you mean. Like
HUDless.
And Cyberpunk's menu, it's kind of cool because it comes out of the side, doesn't take up your whole screen, kind of thing. But no, menus in games I feel like is a little ignored by developers at times. I agree.
Yeah. Oh, have you guys? Let's see, what game is it? Have you played the remake of Link's Awakening? Did you see that?
No, I did not,
bro. I don't know who made their menus, but they're bad. BAD bad. Like a picture having 150 items in your inventory, but they're not sorted. It's just a big line of items that you have to scroll left and right on.
Search bar? None. Yeah.
Non-existent. And it doesn't wrap around. You have to go to get item 51, you have to scroll all the way to item 51. They just didn't think about it. That's the issue.
That's the thing. They don't think about it.
Every single aspect of your game you do have to put some thought into, especially the menus and especially the core concept of what you're gaming.
Yeah, like if the player is going to have to navigate this thing to do anything, right? Especially, inventory, like I want to know what I have. You know, I want to know if
I need to see a big...
Especially if we're talking a game that you can craft things in and stuff like that, I need to know what I have.
Yeah,
I want that to be.
I can't spend 5 minutes scrolling around to find out. Oh, I'm short on this resource. I need to be able to look at all the resources at once. But I don't know what their solution is for that because there are a lot of items.
Well,
No
Breath of the
Man's-
Wild did it pretty well.
Yeah.
I would say that they did a decent job at it because it gives you, and it kind of is similar to the way that Dark Souls does it as well.
Sure. That
you
could
know, it
also
gives you.
use some help too, but
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
a
I don't know
little-
what the solution
menus
is.
are
Maybe.
clunky in Dark Souls a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say.
It's you know, they give you the categories up there, and then they show you as many items as you possibly can in a way that is fairly, like, it's faster because it's not one long list. It's like you know, a 6x5 menu,
Yeah.
so you have like a square to look
That's not
at
bad.
versus a big long list.
yeah, that's obviously going to be better.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
And you know, one thing I would love is for the icons for specific things in a menu. I need them to be separable. You know, like if I'm looking at a list of swords, I need to be able to distinguish between my rapier and my bastard sword. Okay.
Yeah,
They
very
need to
different
look-
weapons,
They
right?
need to look slightly different. But you know, some of those icons can be a little small. But I'm digressing here, I think. But yeah, be fun and get out of my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Few eyes in my way, I can't get immersed.
Yeah. I want to be immersed in your game.
Yeah, stop pulling me
Well,
out.
like,
Stop
yeah,
unplugging
dude,
me
I'll-
from the
like,
Matrix,
don't-
dude.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
That's
leave,
true.
leave me in, man. Leave me in.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to say thanks for listening to our podcast. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. John, Devin, it was great having you here. We'll be back again next week. If you guys want to send us some questions, normally this is the part of the show where I would read questions, but being that this is episode 0 and no one's ever listened to us before, I don't have any emails to read through. So if you guys want to email us at podcast@umbrellafight.xyz. Yeah, you heard that right. Umbrellafight.xyz. Did you know you can buy that? That's the top level domain you can do now.
What?
I love that. So podcast@umbrellafight.xyz. We're looking forward to what you guys have to say about what we had to say, and we can continue the discussion next week. Thank you so much. You guys say goodbye.
Later.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Umbrella Fight.